Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Rikard Engberg and I'm an equity research analyst here at Carnegie Investment Bank. With me I have Jessica Skon, CEO of BTS Group, who has reported their Q4 earnings today. Jessica, welcome.
Thank you.
So I guess we can start by summarizing the Q4 in a couple of sentences. What was the main developments during it?
Sure, happy to. I think the big story on Q4 is that the rebound in BTS Europe continues with 22% revenue growth. We also continued to make advances from an AI perspective, in particular, leveraging the Wonderway acquisition in our Verity platform, which is an AI bot, conversational bot for scale. Those are the two big stories of the fourth quarter.
Okay, great. And can we just discuss the development in Europe for a while? Because it was a really strong Q4. If I
Yeah,
remember correctly, Q2 this year was a bit on the weaker side, but now we have seen a
it's
recovery during the year. Is it mostly projects that was postponed earlier that you now executed on, or is it a higher demand from Europe?
it is absolutely both, right? So the projects in the first half that were postponed, they actually materialized in the second half of the year, in particular in the fourth quarter. However, the pipeline also started to pick up in the third quarter of 2024 and continues. So the win rate is high. We won a lot of big competitive deals. The pipeline is bigger than it's been in quite a long time. The pace with which clients are buying from us has improved. Now, we still have some volatility, of course, and there's some countries and markets that are more conservative, but it's a big turnaround from the first half of 2024.
Okay. And are there any certain industries that are doing especially well now in Q4 in Europe?
Yeah, for us, the ones that are doing particularly well are telecom, and then the IT and tech and software industries were the stronger ones. Yep.
Okay. And now moving on to North America. Could you please just give a brief description of development there and maybe can be seen as a temporary dip in the development?
Yeah, so we're not as happy with America, which only grew 3%, which is a slower growth rate than earlier in the year. Um, However, the more material reason behind that is we had two projects that were actually canceled in the first quarter that typically drive a lot of revenue in the fourth quarter, if that makes sense. Um, and yeah, we see that the market feel in general in the North America market has been picking up compared to where it was a year ago.
Okay, great. And then a question about recruitment. How do you see the recruitment market right now?
Yeah, I would say the recruitment market is strong. I don't feel it's changed materially in the last year. Yeah, the area where we have the most growth and recruitment planned is in some of the high growth markets in most of the world. Obviously, their growth has to be much stronger than it was in the fourth quarter to be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, the combination of AI for productivity and the mix of our portfolio in terms of how much work we do from full-time versus external is important factors in us, deciding how many people to recruit full-time. But from a demand and an opportunity perspective, it's really strong, meaning in our favor.
Okay, great. And in your report and during your earnings call, you talk about the outlook for 2025 feels stronger than 2023 and 2024. Can you describe what is behind this sense of a stronger outlook in markets?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think we're sensing market improvement from where we were a year ago. It's a combination of all of the kind of pipeline related data points that we look at, right? So it's average time to close from the time there's an opportunity identified to actually winning the work has improved from a year ago. The number of opportunities in the pipeline has improved. Win rates have stayed the same, right, or gotten better from a competitiveness perspective. So, all of from that angle, that's what makes us feel like it's improved, especially in Europe, obviously, and in North America.
Okay, great. And one thing that I found really interesting in your report is that Verity, one of the AI solutions, have been used by close to 20,000 participants. Can you describe the revenue dynamics behind this products and these AI bots?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's basically a per user fee. right? And it's a per user fee for a year on average. We're open to doing, more month to month and half year if we have to, but in general, it's a per user fee for the year. It's a SaaS solution, so all the bots live on the Verity platform. They can be used many times. We can create new bots very quickly, and on our tech roadmap is the plan so that our clients can build their own bots as well.
Okay, great. And one thing that I find really interesting when I read your reports and hear your presentations are your initiatives within AI. Can you describe some other AI initiatives apart from the Verity products?
Yeah. So in terms of our external facing AI initiatives, meaning what we expect our clients to experience from us, in our simulation portfolio across the practices as well, our main priority is at an increasing rate to make sure the clients are experiencing AI within our core services and solutions. So in addition to the Verity platform, which we are integrating into those platforms and solutions, we are also using it to speed up the development of our simulations, to co-create more quickly and more do-it-yourself abilities for our clients. Personally, a bigger idea that we have not figured out yet, but it's something we think we should, is our tagline is strategy made personal. Right? How do we help every person in every organization understand the nuance of the strategy and how to be high performing in their job? And I think given what's possible with large language models right now, there's a whole world for us to explore, right? That's a lot longer term, but that's kind of a big opportunity and a big hairy problem. At the same time, we are focusing on our consulting services to help our clients implement their AI initiatives and drive adoption there. And then the third piece, more internal, is how we're using it ourselves across the organization for productivity gains.
Okay, and can you measure those productivity gains by using AI?
Yes. Yes, I think I'm actually quite proud of the approach we have been taking, which for the first year, 15 months was grassroots. Any person, any team who wanted the license could have it, but they were having to report back on the experimentation they were doing and tracking the time efficiencies, and frankly, the joy. I mean, what we have found is our people are happier, right, using them on projects and so forth. And now, as we move into 2025, this is the year of scaling and embedding that across all the peer groups where we've had the biggest improvements. And the projects range in productivity gains from, let's say, 1% to 17, because they, on average, last year our sense was 3.5% to 4% was a conservative average estimate if we had full scale adoption. And I think that's conservative, but we still need more data and more quarters to pass before we know for sure.
Okay, great. And you presented a plan to return to double-digit growth during 2025. You made this on your call. Can you please highlight the most important aspects of this plan?
Yeah, there's three particular pieces. Number one is simply increasing the number of revenue generating consultants we have in the firm. If we have more people who have their own client relationships and are finding new opportunities, basically selling consultants, we will grow. And we're starting the year with more than we had a year before. The second one is leaning into what we call a client relationship culture, as opposed to kind of just a quality execution culture. We're good at it, but we can be exceptional. And so that's the second piece. And the third is to ensure the competitiveness across our portfolio and looking at win rates on a regular basis and more cross-global teaming so that we bring the full portfolio to our clients.
Okay, and can you also describe what you're looking for within M&A, which I've seen you have had a quite high activity in the recent year?
Yes, M&A has been important for the history of BTS and will continue to be. Our plan is to increase the velocity on that front as well. And we're looking at it from two perspectives. One is strengthening our geographical position. We operate in 24 countries, and in some of those countries, they're very large, very growing markets, and we still have small teams, right? So the growth there is very obvious. So how can we bolster those small teams with more feet on the street, stronger presence? The second one goes back to the competitiveness of the portfolio and looking for capabilities that we don't have or capabilities that might take our own services and tech to the next level.
Okay, great. And Can you please, we have touched upon the Verity acquisition, but can you please describe your other acquisition that you have made quite recently, how the development has been in that?
Sure. So that was an acquisition we made in Thailand called SIAC. They're the market leader in organizational change and kind of top to bottom leadership development. Their suite has a high overlap with the full BTS portfolio, from coaching CEOs all the way down to scaled training services, if you will. Absolutely fantastic energy, culture fit. We had the founder on stage at our senior meeting in January. I find her to be quite a role model on what we're calling client relationship culture. And from a business perspective, the combined pipeline of our Southeast Asia business is really healthy. So there's a lot of energy around it.
Okay, great. And to end with, what is your takeaways from 2024, and what do you think, how these can affect BTS going forward?
Sure. Yeah, 2024 for me is defined by 6% EBITDA growth in a still challenging market, right? And not only did we deliver that, but we're always looking to how to set the company up for faster growth in the following years, right? And I believe we did that, and we've shown that a rebound was possible in Europe, which was the whole second half of the year. We continued to bring the AI technology globally, so it's now active in all of our 3 global markets. Yeah, and put in place and strengthened the 3 major priorities to get back to double-digit organic growth.
Okay, great. Jessica, thank you for being here with us digitally at Carnegie Investment Bank. And thank you everyone who has been listening. Thanks.
My pleasure. Thank you.